In this video, I will demonstrate the warm-up I use before my squats. First off is a soft tissue mobilization session that consists of 2 sets of 30 seconds per body part. If I find a knot, I will floss 3 to 5 times per 30-second rep. First off is rolling the glutes. When I roll the glutes, I will cross my leg over in a figure 4, scooting forwards and backwards. With that, I might floss on a knot by extending and bending the knee and rotating the hip. After that, I will roll forward onto my anterior lateral corner of the hip, focusing on a muscle called the TFL. From there, I will roll up and down, focusing on my entire length of the quad, hitting the spots that I feel the most tightness. After that, I will shift to my back, rolling on my thoracic spine to improve upper body mobility. If I need to, I will stop, plant my hips, and then extend and flex over the roller to cause segmental improvements. I might hit 1 or 2 areas with this, depending on the need. After that, I will roll my lats. Next up is the dynamic section of the warm-up. First off is rushing kicks. During this exercise, I want to maintain an upright posture with a straight leg kicking as high as I can without discomfort. Throughout the exercise, you might be able to kick higher. Just do so within your tolerance. Next up is a lunge. This is a hip flexor stretch where one knee is on the ground in a lunge position. Whatever knee is down, I'm going to extend and rotate away from, accentuating the hip flexor stretch on that side. These dynamic exercises should be done for a distance of about 10 yards. As you can see, I'm going about 4 yards each direction to allow for this video. After that is going to come elephant walks. With this, I want to straighten one leg about 6 inches in front of the other one, and then I want to scoop forward, trying to accentuate glute and hamstring stretching. If you do this with both knees bent, you will not find the stretch we are looking for. So make sure that front leg is nice and straight. After that, we are going to go into quad finger touch. Quad finger touch is simply a quad stretch where I bend forward as if I'm doing an RDL to touch the ground with the other hand. This is a great identifier of balance problems as well. And if you notice that you're having problems maintaining balance, you should probably implement more of that kind of work in. Our goal throughout this is to maintain a straight line from head to our bent knee throughout the bend forward. After that comes the lateral lunge and shift. As you see here, I step out with one foot, sink my hips down towards that with both feet facing forward, and then I shift to the other side. As you notice, I rotate facing towards and away from the camera. That is simply just so I cover that 10 yards more effectively. After that is the glute stretch. I'm simply going to bring my leg up into a figure 4 position, grab the knee and the ankle with the corresponding hand, and then extend my back, pulling that knee and ankle up towards my chest. After this dynamic warm-up, I'm going to shift into the hip opener movements. From here, I want to get down into a lunge position with the hand of my front leg pressing the balls of my feet into the ground. From here, I want to drive my belly button straight forward and pushing the knee out with my hand. The second position is to shift my front hand to the outside of my foot while keeping the elbow on the inside and then pressing my belly button in towards that front foot. During this movement, I should be working through different angles and rotation of the hip to hit any sticking points I have. As you can see, the final position that I'm in is pressing my belly button away from the front foot while my front foot hand is pressing my knee away. Here you get an anterior and a lateral shot of the stretch. A good retest of this is to do 3 squats before you do the movement and 3 squats after. I'm going to do a plank and then extend my opposite arm and opposite leg. Common miscues here are to have your core or back extend, to lose your balance, or to simply kick forwards and backwards. Be sure that you are maintaining core contraction and pressing forwards and backwards. Next up, we work on ankle mobility. Here is a dorsiflexion ankle mob where you attach a band lower than your ankle, as you can see with my box and band setup. We want to make sure that the band is set below the bumps on your ankle, known as the malleoli, and then we want to drive our knee forward over it. We want to make sure throughout that you have no pain, and then after the mobs, you want to shift into a calf stretch. This calf stretch should be done both with the knee bent and with the knee straight. After this comes our lat warm-ups. From here, we want to grab a PVC pipe or a brute handle in a V position. As you can see, my hands are wider than my shoulders. From the front and the side view, you can see how I brace with my elbows on the box and then press my head and chest through, shifting from side to side if necessary. Now I'm going to go into bodyweight squats. From here, I want to sink my hips as far as I can, pressing them through towards the front. As you can see, I'm going to fire my glutes to do a half squat from the bottom up, causing glute activation. I also can grab my toes to brace and squeeze my hips through, as well as bracing my hands together and pressing out with my elbows. Next up is a side leaning single leg hip burner. I want to make sure that I'm in an athletic position on my weight bearing side, lift, and then externally and internally rotate my leg. Next up is the barbell portion of the warm-up, consisting of 5 exercises. Throughout these exercises, I want to make sure that I am focusing on my breathing, glute activation, and core stabilization. First exercise is a simple RDL, focusing on pulling the bar back towards my legs. Next up comes a bent over row, focusing on lat activation. After that comes my upright row, focusing on shoulder activation. Following that is an overhead press, focusing on core stabilization and ending in a vertical position straight over my shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. My last exercise in this round is a simple back squat. For each rep, I'm going to brace, then work on my pelvic tilt, and then dropping as straight down as possible. As you can see from this lateral view, I am emphasizing my back stability as well as breathing, core contraction, and strictness. During my squats, you can notice that I take an individual breath and brace before each rep, focusing on my upright chest and sinking my hips as low as I can. If you have questions about a specific warm-up for your exercise or injury, please reach out to one of your RIPT team members.